Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. It's my Friday. I'm always backwards from everyone else. So, anyway, you saw by the title, Motivational Monday. So today is not about recipes or vlogging or grocery hauls and whatever else I randomly show on this channel. Today is more about motivation and inspiration. We are living in, obviously I've only been around for 51 and a half years. I haven't lived through the entire history of the world. None of us have. And I'm sure if you would have the opportunity to go back and interview people from BC times and the year 500 and the year 1000, people would say the same thing. We are living in the worst time of history. So for me to sit here and say, we are living in the worst time of history, how do we know that? Because we're only aware of what's going on right now. But this time in history is, wow, it's been tough. The last, what month are we in? April. The last at least 13 months, for some countries a little longer, we have been dealing with a virus that is, however you want to believe, either absolutely horrible and deadly or a bit exaggerated. Some people even believe it's fake. I don't. Just rest assured, I'm not a crazy person. But the theories on COVID are all over the place. But I think most of us would agree on how it's making us feel, and that we feel like everything in our life is completely out of control. Like we have no control over our own lives anymore. We are being told what we have to wear when we leave the house, whether it be a face mask and or a face shield and or 2 face masks. We're being told to not touch anything and bleach and put alcohol on every single surface. We are being told that we have to be home at some people, not everybody, but there's people being told that they can't leave their homes. There's people being told that they can't go see loved ones. There's being people told that whether their job is essential or not by someone who, does that person even matter, who's telling you that you can do that? So bottom line is, we feel like we have no control of our own lives. But yes, you do. You have control over your own life. Now, I'm not speaking regarding COVID when I say that. God help you if you live in an area where you literally can't leave your house, and if you do, there's a chance you'll get a fine unless you're going to an essential thing, like an essential job, or to buy food and only be allowed to buy food. I do know some of the Canadians are experiencing this right now, and I feel so sorry for you. And I'm not telling you to go out and violate that and end up with a giant fine and have yourself in jail. This is not what this is about. This is about taking control of you and your brain and your physical body and your just your outlook on everything. So when you're feeling like you have no control because your government, and questionable government, is making all these rules, just keep in mind that you do have control over you. But I think the big key to that is you have to feel like you're worth it. You have to feel like you are worthy. And that's a huge problem for people nowadays. It really is. the self-esteem or lack of that I see is just crazy. You can choose to, okay, I don't want to bring religion into this because I know some of you may not be religious. Some of you may be agnostic or atheist. Some of you may just believe in different, I'm a Christian. I'm a born again Christian. That's how I was raised, and I believe in God, and I believe that He creates us and designs us. So that's how I'm going to speak. But whether you choose to, whether you're a practicing Buddhist or Muslim or Jew or what, a Hindu, every other religion out there, most of you choose to believe that you have a creator that's created you. Again, unless you are atheist, agnostic. So I'm speaking from the viewpoint of a Christian. So if you don't like it, turn me off. Don't badmouth me. My judgment, my channel, just don't listen to me. So I do believe that God created all of us and that we are all equal. And I think that's why a lot of people don't feel like they are worthy, because they don't believe that all of us are equal. A lot of people get their, they look to people who are no better than you to compare themselves to. Comparison-itis is, I would label comparison-itis as a mental disease. You probably have your favorite celebrities, your favorite music artists, maybe your famous professional athletes that you look up to and you admire. Okay, it's okay to admire what they do and maybe give you something to strive for if that's what your goal is. However, it's not okay to think that they are better than you. That's not okay. You look at these people and think, oh, they have it made. Oh, they're perfect. For example, let's just say a beautiful female movie star. You look at her on screen, on your television, and you see flawless skin with perfectly applied makeup, not a hair out of place, a killer body. And you know she's probably multimillionaire. And you think, wow, I could never be that. Well, how do you think she felt when she was not famous? Do you think she had that attitude that, wow, I can never do that, or I'm never going to make it? No, I guarantee you that person didn't get to where they are by thinking that. They got to where they are by thinking, I am enough. I can do this. I'm just as good as anybody out there, and I'm going to make it happen. You are enough. God created all of us equal. Maybe you have what the world defines as a disability. Why do we let the world define us? Why not look at that disability as your uniqueness? I can sit here and pick out for you on myself everything that the world would point out as a flaw, something that makes me less than perfect. For example, you see this happening here? You see the white, gray hair that I've been dealing with since I was 22 years old. Well, God forbid we let our gray show. Now, I do get my hair colored every 6 weeks, and I have an appointment tomorrow night, and I'm going to get it covered. But I don't look in the mirror and think I can't go out of the house and be seen in public because of this. And I'm not by any means comparing this to someone with a disability who hides at home. I'm just pointing out what the world would perceive as my flaws. Big one for me would be, I have a colostomy bag. People have told me, I can't believe you work with that. I can't believe you do as much as you do with that. Aren't you afraid? Aren't you afraid of something happening? Aren't you afraid of people noticing? Nope, absolutely not. I get on YouTube and tell whoever wants to listen, I have a colostomy bag. I'm getting it reversed. Thank God I'm getting it reversed. I'll be happy to see it go for obvious reasons. But if I had to live the rest of my life with it, it's not going to keep me in the house and away from the public. The world would look at me and say, you're fat, you're obese, you're morbidly obese. You need to do something about that. From a medical standpoint, yeah, I definitely could stand to lose some weight. Am I working on it? Kind of, but I'll explain that in a minute. But it doesn't keep me from putting on a swimsuit and going to the pool. So are you kind of following? The world would see me as, you have a YouTube channel, but you have less than 600 followers. You're nothing. Do I let that bother me? No. I'm not comparing myself to someone who has 1 million followers. None at all. The world would look at my bank account and laugh because I am by no means a Bill Gates to come look at my bank account. Does that make me less than? Absolutely not. I have, if you followed me for years, you know I went on my own personal growth journey back in 2017. And I was successful. Everything was falling into place and my life clicked. And it was kind of an aha moment for me. And I just started doing the right things. But it took several months of me working on this and how I perceived myself. And then my traumatic events happened. I backslid from that, and I've been a moody, sick mess ever since, to put it mildly. So, after a year of pandemic fatigue, medical issue fatigue, I needed something. So I kind of started watching some different YouTube channels. I credit inspirational YouTubers for helping me get my shit together. Excuse my language, finally. I can sit here in front of you and say, I have my shit together mentally. And that will improve me physically. I have by no means reached a goal, but there's no goal to reach, I don't think, because personally, I feel like you can continuously improve yourself, that there's no end game with that. But it's got to come from you believing that you're worth it. So I've put a lot of time and energy into, this is before I was working, into reading books, not fiction, not stepping into someone else's world and oh, they have the perfect little world. Oh, there's a suspense drama. Oh, who killed this person? No. I've been reading books that are all self-improvement or all medical. That's been a game changer. I switched up some of the YouTube channels that I follow because I know deep down that, I mean, I cook good. I do. I cook good tasting food. I, for the most part, cook good, healthy food. But over the years, if you've watched me for years, you've seen my recipes really fluctuate from, oh, it's all about the taste, to, okay, let's tweak it a little bit just to make it a teeny bit healthier, to, okay, now we're going to do whole food plant-based for two weeks. So my cooking has been everywhere. And following YouTubers who cook, to see their recipes, who cook with very unhealthy ingredients and make very unhealthy food that I grew up eating, I had to unsubscribe, and I started following YouTubers who live a healthy lifestyle. And not just physically, but mentally as well. So that's made a change. But the biggest change has been me believing that I'm worth this. You have one body. I don't think medically we've advanced to the point where we're doing body transplants yet. So literally, this is your one body, your one brain, your one soul, your one chance at living and getting it right. I'm going to be the first one to admit that other than a time span of 6 to 8 months in 2017, I have wasted my entire adult life. I've wasted it. Did I have some good experiences? Absolutely. I birthed 2 children. I married my husband. We've had our ups and downs, which probably could have been avoided, most of them. But for the most part, I've wasted having my shit together. That's an aha moment in itself. When you sit and you inventory your past life. And yes, you're going to find good things that happened. But did you really have your shit together? Did you really have it going on up here? Believing that you are just as good as every single person on this planet. And if you compare yourself to some of the evil people, you're kind of a step better. But you got to take control. You have to take control of how you think about yourself. You have to take control over your physical body and what you do with it and to it and for it. Big part of that is turning off your television. Turn it off. Stop with the constant influence from news outlets and government. I'm not an anti-government. I work for the federal government, so I'm not anti-government. However, I don't care who's in power, be it a Democrat, be it a Republican. When you have that much power in government, 9 chances out of 10, you're corrupt, because power breeds corruption and greed. And that's just how I believe. Why are you letting the government tell you what's good for you and what's not? I'm speaking specifically regarding what you eat and what they tell you is safe to eat. I've preached this for years on my channel. And yes, I've backslidden and bought the shit food. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not encouraging you to be perfect. Perfect is unattainable. I'm just trying to get you to be aware. Just be aware. The government tells you that all the chemicals from the food products are fine for your body. There's nothing wrong with you. You can buy a box of ABC off the shelf and every ingredient in it other than 2, you may have 2 foods and 40 chemicals, but that's okay. That's safe. You can eat that. And you do this with product after product after product, and you think it's not going to hurt you? You are sadly mistaken, my friend. It's going to hurt you in the long run. I'm proof. I had said in a couple videos ago, don't try to do a complete overhaul. Do baby steps. But in the past week, I've come to realize that that doesn't work. You got to overhaul big. When you overhaul big and you see quicker results, that's when the light bulb turns on up here. People want to try to do a baby step and all of a sudden see a quick result. You're not going to get quick results over baby steps. It's no different than your child walking. When your child first starts to walk and do baby steps, they're not running the marathon that week. It's the same thing with us. The baby steps, it's going to take a while till you see the results from the marathon. I'm tired of the baby steps. I'm worth more than that. I'm worth more than the subtle little tiny changes to see if it helps. No. I'm a go big or go home project right now. But again, it starts with how you think. I can tell you, do this, do that, as far as your food, your cooking, you're moving your body, you're organizing your life, you're keeping your house clean. I can preach and preach and preach and preach and preach and preach. But until it registers up here with you, don't listen to me. It's got to start up here. You've got to have this in order before you can have your physical body and your surroundings in order. And that comes with believing that you are enough. You are worthy. You are. God created us all equal. Every color, every gender, every race, our physical differences, we're all equal and we are all worthy of feeling like our best self. Do you feel like your best self? Are you living your best life? But Michelle, I can't. I don't have the money to buy the healthy stuff. But Michelle, I can't. I don't have the time to cook for myself. You know what? Yeah, you do. You just got to carve out the time. I've been yapping for, according to the clock here, 22 minutes. That's 22 minutes you've listened to me. And I'm sure I'm not the only person you watch, because I'm sure I'm not your end-all be-all of what you watch on TV or your computer or iPad or whatever. Key, turn off the television. Stop mindlessly watching that screen. What good is it doing for you? I want someone to tell me in the comments what good comes out of mindlessly watching network television. But I keep abreast of what's going on in the world. Okay, that 30-minute news channel, 30-minute news segment. You watch the whatever nightly news from 6 to 6:30 to catch up on the news. In that 30 minutes, how much of that 30 minutes was given to the actual piece of news information compared to how much of that 30 minutes was given to commercials and advertisements and marketing? Tell me. So 10 minutes to actual facts, 20 minutes to actual bullshit. There's your 20 minutes that you could have carved out to make a quick, healthy dinner. There's 20 minutes that you could have carved out to read a good self-improvement book. I know the excuses. I lived the excuses. I don't use the excuses anymore. This is not easy. It's hard. It's hard to get your shit together. But unless you plan to do it and you make your list and your plan of what you're going to do to improve yourself, you're going to fail. I heard a quote the other day. It said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's pretty darn simple. But again, until you get this all figured out, this brain of yours and your heart, you got to believe it in your heart, not just in your head. You got to believe it in your heart that you are worthy, that you want to do this, that you want to feel like your best self. Until you get to that point, everything you try, you're going to fail at. You are. It's not going to stick. You'll try it for that 21 days that the world says is all you need, all the time you need to create a habit. Well, if that's all you needed, you wouldn't be needing to listen to me yap. You know what I mean? You'd have your shit together. Obviously, it probably takes a little longer than 21 days. This is a life goal. It is a lifestyle. As I'm sitting here drinking my green, ugly looking shake that tastes absolutely yummy, I'm not drinking something that tastes like manure here. I'm drinking something that tastes good, but I have superfoods in here that I know are super nourishing for my body. Do I still go to restaurants? Yes. But do I alter what I eat? Absolutely. We went out to breakfast with friends yesterday morning. And it's a restaurant that's local to us, and I absolutely love their pancakes. Like, their pancakes taste like cake. They are amazing. It's what I wanted. But I know that unless I drag my own pure maple syrup along, I'm going to be eating their syrup, which is pure high fructose corn syrup, which I won't eat anymore at all. And I knew it was going to be no protein put in the pancakes like it is when I make them here at home. So what did I opt to get? I ordered 2 eggs over medium, whole food eggs. Now, I don't know where these eggs came from. I'm pretty sure they weren't free range. They were probably factory farmed, but there are certain substitutions you just have to deal with in a restaurant if you want to eat out. You just have to choose the best substitutions. I ordered no breakfast meat, no cured processed meats. Normally, I would have me a side order of crispy bacon. If you've watched me, you know Mama loves her bacon. Am I eating bacon anymore? No, I'm not. I've given it up and I don't miss it. Because I've changed this up here, I don't miss it. So I ordered my 2 eggs over medium, an avocado, and that was an option. The menu option read avocado slices and 2 eggs, and it came with home fries and toast. So I got my avocado slices and my 2 eggs. I left the home fries come with it. I didn't tell them to keep off the home fries. They're potatoes, they're whole food. I don't normally eat potatoes, you know that. I've gotten rid of potatoes, except for on occasion, which may be once a month, as long as it's in the morning and I have a chance to work off all those sugars and carbs that you get in a potato. I didn't eat all of them. I only ate a small portion of them. And then I ordered a side of wheat toast, which I only ate 1 slice and not 2. So I ate in a restaurant, but I chose more healthy. Old Michelle would have had the pancakes loaded with sugar and high fructose corn syrup and a big old plate of crispy bacon. I also would have ordered hot tea with plenty of regular white sugar in it because they don't have options there other than fake sweeteners, which I won't consume. I drank yesterday a glass of tomato juice with my breakfast, and my breakfast was fabulous. I was stuffed and I didn't even eat it all, and I was fueled up for the day. And that's just one example. I could go on and on and on, but I'm not, because this video will get to be 5 hours long, because honestly, I could talk to you all day. But I just want to encourage you to, number 1, turn off that TV. Number 2, take that time instead and work on this. Start reading some good self-improvement books. I've told you the one that changed my life 4 years ago, and that was Mastering Your Mean Girl by Melissa Ambrosini. I have finished all 3 of Rachel Hollis's books, which were wonderful. I just finished Jamie Kern-Lima's book, who's the founder of It Cosmetics, how she went from a waitress at Denny's to the CEO of a billion-dollar company. So many inspiring stories, so many books out there to help you work on you. And that's what I encourage you to do. If you're watching YouTube channels and the people that you're watching aren't where you want to be, they're not motivated, they're not motivating you. I'm not telling you to unsubscribe. Every once in a while, check in, see how they're doing. But kind of pick some YouTubers out there who are inspiring to you, to get you to move toward your life goals. Figure out what your life goals are. Make a plan for yourself. Again, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And realize that, my friend, you are worth everything you want out of life. And you have to believe that. Because until you believe it, your physical is not going to change. You've got to change the mental first. Once you change that and you get your shit together up here, you will be a force. You will be a force. To me, that's a life goal. So, again, happy Monday to you all. I will see you PDQ. Bye.